Bahamas Limited became a VAT registrant and is mandated to charge and collect VAT on behalf of the government of the Bahamas. Effective January 1st, 2015, VAT will be added at a rate of 7.5% on all your rev services. As a result, VAT will be included on all your statements beginning January 2015, and you will be required to pay your bill in full inclusive of the VAT. To learn more about the inclusion of VAT on your rev services, visit cablebahamas.com/VAT.
The Carnival Commission ruffles feathers. Another police officer charged in connection with that sex tape scandal. Heather Hunt speaks out on her requested resignation. Plus, we've got those stories and a whole lot more tonight. I'm Vonique Toot and NB12 starts now. Topping news tonight, trouble is brewing ahead of the first Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival. 3 members of the Festival Commission have resigned following what the tourism minister called a communication breakdown.
It's the controversial event set to take place this May, the first ever Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival. Many within the Junkanoo world have already said that Carnival will be the death of Junkanoo. The Bahamas Christian Council is giving a scathing review of the upcoming Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival. After months of silence, the council issued a statement asking government to be careful of the gates they are opening to increase the country's revenue. The statement from Council President Reverend Dr. Ranford Patterson says the promotion of immodest costumes, such as those displayed for use in the upcoming Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival, will not only promote promiscuity, but fornication, rape, incest, and other sins of the flesh as well. And such immodest and immoral body displays could well become the breeding ground for the premature sexualization of our children, as they will not be immune from these perversions. But the council applauds the government of the Bahamas for seeking ways to improve the economic health of the Bahamas and efforts of the government to promote the entrepreneurship and creativity of the Bahamian people. Just a little over a year since their appointment, 3 people have decided to lead the Festival Commission, namely Ed Fields, Senior VP of Public Affairs at Atlantis, Inga Bowleg, Head of Marketing at John Bull, and cultural icon Freddie Munnings Jr. We contacted Munnings for comment today. However, he decided to only reiterate what he said in the Nassau Guardian's National Review, that he was frustrated by the undermining and disrespect from the political directorate. Bowleg, we understand, stepped down to focus more on corporate projects. And as for Fields, he could not be reached for comment. However, when we contacted Commission Chairman Paul Major, he was headed into a meeting with Tourism Minister Obi Wilchcombe to discuss the matter and said he would address it afterward. He did, however, stress that there were some major communication gaps that Wilchcombe admitted to were a breakdown in communication. For that, Wilchcombe said he had already apologized to Major. Now, we also understand a deal to bring pop star Janet Jackson as the main act for a concert is not likely to happen. Jackson would have come at a price of $1.9 million. And according to Wilchcombe, the commission has other plans. When asked if he was disappointed in the failure to secure Jackson, Wilchcombe said the question concerning Janet Jackson is simply a question of whether or not the country would wish to engage in almost $1.9 million securing her act, and could the act in fact be a significant draw to the country. Another artist that was tapped to be a headliner, Usher. Wilchcombe said, though, that he is in talks and expects to confirm a big-name act later this week. Wilchcombe continued on saying, "We're very pleased that many Bahamian acts have been secured because it is our view and the view of the Bahamas government that first and foremost is Bahamian culture supported by incorporating Junkanoo, incorporating Bahamian musicians and artists." Wilchcombe said he intends to ensure that substantially less than $9 million is spent. Since the idea arose of there being Carnival in the Bahamas, there were many who were in total disagreement. Some, like local entertainer KB, said this had nothing to do with Bahamian culture. Well, today we caught up with KB, who said, quite frankly, he wants the first ever Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival to be a failure. Local recording artist KB minced no words with NB12 when he said he wants the event to be a failure.
I'm looking forward to this thing failing. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's how I feel, because I think in the long run, if it fails, then maybe in the future we'll believe in our thing and stop running to everyone else's thing.
KB said he's not being negative, but he just believes the millions being invested in Carnival should be used for a more Bahamian cultural festival.
This whole Junkanoo Carnival idea has been hijacked by soca. If you see during the December celebrations, Christmas celebration, all you were seeing around the place was soca fetes, soca parties. This is supposed to have been a Junkanoo thing. All I see is Trinidadian artists coming in here. None of the Bahamian artists getting any of the work.
We caught up with the CEO of the Festival Commission, Roscoe Dames, who said he's heard all the back and forth regarding the Junkanoo Carnival, but he said in regards to that, they will just have to simply agree to disagree.
Well, you know, with everything new, with every effort that you make in life, you're going to have some that support you and some that don't, for whatever reason. And everyone's entitled to their own, not only their opinion, but entitled to their own perception of what things are, as much as you make efforts to try and convince them otherwise. My true belief is that you can have people that love what you do and you can have people that don't. And those that don't, they're entitled to their opinion.
Dame says with all the debate about Carnival, they will just have to agree to disagree. And just like those who don't believe in Carnival, he says there are those who strongly believe. So where does the Festival Commission go from here?
Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival will happen on 2 islands, Grand Bahama April 17 and 18th, with the semi-final competition will be on Grand Bahama for that weekend, and May 7th through the 9th will be in Nassau.
A major marketing campaign for the Junkanoo Carnival is set to begin next month. Reporting for NB12, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
From the courts, a second police officer has been charged in the magistrate's court in relation to that sex tape scandal which has dominated chatter on social networking sites in recent days. 21-year-old police constable Christopher Thompson was charged today with intentional libel and causing harm to a woman known to him on January 22nd. He was represented by 3 attorneys, Michael Kemp, Tamara Taylor, and Stanley Roll. Thompson, who appeared before Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt, pleaded not guilty to both charges. He was granted $5,000 bail and will return to court on May 14th and 15th. His arraignment comes just 3 days after Police Constable Edmund Lewis Jr. was charged with 1 count of child pornography. Scores of videos depicting explicit sexual acts between a man and multiple women have been widely circulated online. Firefighting efforts continue at the New Providence landfill as residents in neighboring communities fume over smoky conditions. Simone Davis has the latest.
Just over a week ago, this landfill experienced a massive fire, and contractors are still out here trying to put out the flames and the smoke that's left. With little assistance from police fire services, according to head of communications at Renew Bahamas, Andrew Knowles, the company hired contractors to help clean up the area where most of the smoke and fumes are coming from. Knowles added that the workers have covered about 70% of a burnt area. He noted that hiring these contractors and paying for the equipment needed to control the fumes and smoky conditions comes with a hefty price, especially when using 40,000 gallons of water per day.
We're pumping about 40,000 gallons of water per hour on the fire, or the small pockets of fire. Of course, it's an inconvenience to us because, you know, this is some unexpected expense, you know, to pay for contractors, to pay overtime to people as well.
The head of communications said he wants residents to understand that it takes a while to completely get rid of smoke and fumes after a fire that massive. However, the company is working diligently to control it.
I just want to say, I think you can appreciate that, you know, putting something out, because this was a massive fire, and so putting this out wouldn't take, you know, just 1 day or 2 days. It's going to take some time, but we've been working assiduously. Our team has been working overtime into the night and really trying to bring some relief to the residents in the surrounding communities, because we understand their frustration, and we're frustrated too because of, you know, this happening, the malicious nature of, you know, a few people in doing this. But like I said, we're working hard. We're trying to get this bring some relief to the communities.
Chief Commercial Officer at Renew Bahamas, Michael Cox, said they've already began strategizing ways in which they can prevent future fires at the landfill.
We've already started on this landfill was to start to put some berms in. So you see the landfill being built in a pyramid type fashion with internal roads that act as fire breaks. And what that will do is hold everything within smaller contained sections, so you shouldn't really have larger fires breaking out in future. Here we've got 2 big D8 and D9 dozers on, 40-ton machines pushing the fill forward. We've covered circa 16 acres of fill onto the top of the landfill. We've got the final section, which is like a V section, which is pushing the fire out as we're coming into it. And we've got the hoses on the bottom, the firefighting hoses on the bottom, and 6 water trucks putting the water onto it as well.
Our news team reached out to the Director of Fire Services, Walter Evans, for comment, but he was unavailable up until news time. Reporting for NB12, I'm Simone Davis.
When NB12 returns, Heather Hunt addresses her requested resignation. Plus, a man killed in a structural fire last night. The details are after this break.